where's Nick? Nick should be here any second now.
I see you're live, Ivan. I was behind the camera. I'm now in front of the camera, kind of like we do at DIY. Sometimes I'll be recording you. Sometimes we're both on camera. We're live to celebrate what?
That we're in the studio. We only come to the studio 3 times a year, and we do batch filming when we're here. We want to take a little break, bring you into the studio, and talk to you about some upcoming products, but also do a wash and talk.
So it's you and I chatting here.
Right.
And Sam, wonderful customer service member on the team here, is going to be kind of piping through some questions.
Yes, that's
into
why we
our
have the
AirPods. And then we've got microphones attached to that phone, which is connecting us to StreamYard, which is connecting us to YouTube. Anyway, ask your questions. We're going to try to answer them as we go, but we're also going to talk about how to wash a car safely. We're going to take those questions at the end or during the stream?
We're going to take some during the stream, some at the end. If you have a question, please put QQQ before it. If you're just saying hi to Humberto or anybody else on the live stream, that's great. Chat amongst yourselves. Sam will be there to chat with you as well as DIY. But at the same time, if you have a serious question, put it as QQQ. And if it can wait, put it in the comments below. While you're here, if you haven't done so already, subscribe. And thanks for joining us on this beautiful, well, depending on where you are, Tuesday morning, afternoon, or evening.
Ivan, what's the vehicle here and what's the plan? We promised them a wash and talk. I want to bring in depth into your thought process. You see this vehicle, what goes through your mind?
Well, we have a vehicle that's relatively new. It's got less than 10,000 miles. The wheels are typical German wheels. It's a Volkswagen. The wheels actually look goldish brown.
I'm thinking iron remover,
black,
right?
Yeah, they're supposed to be black, but they're far from being black at the moment. So, sorry, we had a bit of camera shift there. Sylvie's not used to StreamYard. So on these wheels, Nick, if you want to start with the iron remover, we can get that going. Now, the rest of the vehicle, it's dusty. It looks like someone's been dry wiping on it. There's got these weird lines everywhere over the hood. I don't know if you can see them from there, but yeah.
Normally I don't do this much iron remover. What is the Ivan LaCroix approved number of sprays of iron remover? Because I just did about 11 on that wheel.
That's a 5 spray wheel.
1, 2, like around in a circle.
Yeah.
How's that look?
Good.
I wanted to do 10.
Yes, no.
So 5 it is. Is it 10 divided by 2? Could be 5?
That could,
5 on a wheel.
That would work. Now, while that is dwelling there, we wanted to dwell a little longer. In our IK foamer, and you don't need an IK, there's other foamers on the market, but this one actually works very well. It's worth the investment as far as I'm concerned. We have 120 ounces of water, 8 ounces of all clean, and a capful of incredible suds. We're at 58 PSI, which is the maximum it will allow. And when you get below 45 PSI, it doesn't really work too well.
Okay, the sound is very good. Cool.
Thank you.
I was just checking the comments, Ivan, from behind the screen, and it says sound is very good. If we're having any sound issues, let us know. If you're seeing any video issues, let us know. Did someone say it was blurry, or is it pretty clear? Okay. Ivan, I'm looking at the image of this Volkswagen through the camera.
Yep.
And this paint looks really shiny. We get a lot of criticism, or at least comments from people, that we only clean cars. And I don't think that's really being fair to the process that we're demonstrating here. So, although it looks clean, what do you have to say to the we only clean cars comment?
Stay tuned to the channel. We did one yesterday that was far from clean. But no, clean cars need to be washed as well. It looks clean up close. Oh, sorry, it looked clean on camera, but up close, it's far from clean. We can see all this grime and dirt on it, traffic film, it's there.
Ivan, dry wiping the car. We don't do that usually, right?
I know, yeah.
We're trying to demonstrate something.
But the other thing is, most of you watching are detailing enthusiasts. And what that means is you probably maintain your car very well. So you are also cleaning clean cars. Not every car is trashed. Not every car is a disaster detail.
And when you clean them more often, they're easier to clean. All right, I will say, I sprayed 11 sprays of iron remover. We're getting a little bit more of a show here.
A little bit of a show,
if you want to use more product and give yourself more of a show, look at the purple. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and we got the brown coming off the tires. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Now, next, let's prepare our wash bucket. I have 4 gallons of water. 4 gallons of water is 4 capfuls. This is something that a lot of people overthink. We have a dilution ratio, which, Nick, there's some numbers involved. What are those numbers?
4 milliliters of rinseless wash to a liter.
Yep.
Or you could do 1 ounce of rinseless wash to 2 gallons of water. Or the easiest one for me to remember, because it transcends nationality and systems and everything, is just one of these capfuls. I guess it doesn't, because it was metric and a gallon. Anyway,
Yeah.
1 capful per gallon is my
Right.
way.
But
It's been a long morning so far. I'm rambling already.
The number is 256 to 1.
There you
now,
go.
256 to 1 is actually the maximum. When you're doing the capful method, it's about 300 to 1. Don't stress. You don't want to go to 200 to 1, but 256, 300, somewhere in that range is good.
I'm sure we're getting a lot of questions already. But we gotta wash and talk. So
Right.
I'll just say hi to everybody. I just took a quick look at some of these comments, and I'm just gonna ask one to you real quick, Ivan. Does Hydrate or Hydrate 3 Stack outperform Hydro Glass?
Hydro Glass, no, because on the windshield it's going to perform great, but Hydro Glass, the glass-specific coating, it's always going to perform better. Now, Nick,
Time for rinseless wash as a pre-treat.
yeah, let's do the rinseless wash as the pre-treat.
So we're in the middle of a live stream. I don't know if you need us, but we're in for like 2 hours here, so I don't know if you're dropping off a car or.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to grab the keys from you? Okay. Do you need anything else? Okay. Ivan, what time should he come back?
We text him.
I'll text you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Yep. Cheers. This is a real working shop, Ivan. We got people dropping off vehicles.
Yep.
We got a busy Omaha street. We're recording content.
So the cars that we do here are actually people's cars, and we actually detail the cars. We don't just do half of it for the camera and walk away. So,
You know what's nice to have is my own spray of rinseless wash. Because
Yes.
Ivan's always doing the spraying, and it feels good to lay some rinseless wash on the vehicle. Now, if you had a hose, we'd do chemical, rinse, chemical. If it wasn't that dirty, we could do rinseless wash and get right to the contact wash. But we're gonna use a hose today, Ivan. It's dirty enough.
yeah, definitely, you know, there's enough dust on here that it warrants us rinsing it off. So the chemical, rinse, chemical, if we're using the foam cannon, it would be foam, rinse, foam. But the rinseless is such a fun, easy way of doing things.
I'm feeling like the questions must be stacking up. So if Sam wants to throw a few our way, or at least 1 or 2,
Yep.
you know, Sam, feel free to shoot. Shoot your shot, my friend. I'm sure there's
And
lots of folks.
I'm
It's
just
just
gonna
weird
check.
for me to not be able to see the comments as we're doing this.
No, but I can't hear Sam on the phone here. Oh,
Well,
he's there. Okay.
Sam's there.
Yeah.
All right, I've laid the rinseless down. The temptation is to put so much rinseless on that you're going to solve all the world's problems by the sheer amount of rinseless you put on the vehicle. That's not the idea. This is the pre-treat. This is to emulsify and suspend the dirt, Ivan.
Okay, excellent. So Sam, do we have any questions? Put
Sam,
one
why
up
don't you put them on the
screen
screen and
read it to us?
Sam, you put them on the screen and I'll read them off. How about that? All right, Mike Kaufman says, any tips for carpeted wheel wells, Ivan?
Okay, first of all, start dry. You don't want to start with pressure washer in there. Start dry, dry brush, or do something in there to agitate. Then the 0-degree turbo nozzle is great in those. It's about the only automotive use I have for those nozzles, and it's a great one for inside of there.
Ivan's about to use the pressure washer. Would you use a hose here, or is the pressure washer the way to do this?
Pressure washer, because I don't want you squeegeeing for 3 days.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. You think the hose is going to be easier, but a pressure washer is way more efficient with the usage of water.
So we had a question.
From Cali Detail Co.
Right. Any new products? Stay tuned. We'll be talking about those shortly.
Especially, specifically, any new interior products was the question.
Yes, we have new products coming, interior, exterior, and some fun things.
What do we think about the color? I like this green.
Yeah, it is a sage green sort of color.
You notice how Ivan's doing his meticulous rinsing, right? He's not over here and over there. Sometimes I just study the way Ivan rinses a car. I'd be curious, can we write in the comments, what does it sound like as we talk with the pressure washer? I have a feeling actually that StreamYard might somehow compress the audio and make it sound halfway decent, but I'll check the comments right now. How does it sound as I talk and Ivan pressure washes? Okay, audio is good, it's not bad.
Okay.
We could probably get away with a little talking and pressure washing. Sam, if you have another question while Ivan's rinsing. I'm gonna get the world famous squeegee. Not known for much around here. The squeegeeing, I'm pretty good at. Not sure if you got another question for us, Sam. As we get some of this iron remover into the drain.
Yes. So
All right, Ivan, so what's next?
vehicle is rinsed off. Chemical, rinse, chemical, which means more rinseless wash on the surface.
If we didn't do the rinseless wash after the rinse and we went right to the contact wash, does the world end?
The world won't end, but why not protect yourself, protect the surface, do the best you can do.
Rinse this onto the wheels as well, yeah?
Yes.
So we're treating the wheels the way we treat the paint, with respect.
Right.
Chemical, rinse, chemical, foam, rinse, foam, right? We sandwich the rinse.
And they're both clear coat. If you have pollen, yes, great question. When you have pollen on a surface, you want to do the chemical, rinse, chemical. You can use foam, you can rinse this wash, but you don't want to be rubbing that pollen in. It's rather abrasive. Even though it's coming from a tree or a flower, it's abrasive, trust me.
So don't let the nature, get you off your guard.
Yeah.
It's abrasive to the paint. Sometimes I think, wow, like we could scratch this clear coat and it's so fragile. And then I realize, wow, this paint can withhold so much. How should they feel about paint, Ivan, in terms of protecting it, taking care of it? Should they over freak out or should they let it be?
You want to protect it as much as you can, but some people overthink the detailing process a little too much. That's where you get the pre-foams and the pre-soaks and all that fun stuff that in reality, it's the contact wash that's doing the work. Now, Sam just read a question off to us there.
Do you guys prefer a rinseless that's more surfactant-based or polymer-based?
Ours is a hybrid, and the polymers are great, and surfactant only are great. If I had to choose between surfactant and polymers, I would choose surfactant. They clean better, they're safe, they do the job a little better than a pure polymer-based. But ours is a combination. We have polymers and surfactants, and the reason we have both is to give a better job. The polymers are there for that little extra glide, that little extra safety in that sense, but on the other side of things, you've got the surfactants that are there to do the deep, hard, heavy lifting. Now, wheel cleaning is something that a lot of people stress about. They take a little too much time. So you just adjust the camera there. And when they do that, when people freak out about wheels, and a lot of people spend too much time. We just had a premiere yesterday with the boys from Omni Garage, and they were telling me that it takes them 20 to 25 minutes to do a wheel, not the wheels, a wheel. So an easy way to do it, first of all, you don't need a special wheel and tire cleaner. All clean first, then rinseless wash does a great job. Secondly, start with the face of the wheel. And the reason we start with the face, inside the barrel, there could be a bit of grit there. That grit, once we've rubbed the barrel and it brought back out to the face, if we had grit on this face and we started rubbing it with the brush, that's when you can scratch it. The brush, our wheel and body brush, the bristles here, the soft flag tip nylon bristles are actually softer than this clear coat. They can't scratch the clear coat. It's the grit that might be on the wheel that can scratch the clear coat.
Ivan goes right to the wheel right to the tire instead of the wheel. Can you walk us through your logic here?
it makes no difference, one or the other. As long as you're getting the front of the wheel done first, and the brush gets into all these little areas, you don't need that little lug nut brush. Don't be afraid to put a bit of pressure on this brush. It's not going to scratch anything.
Hey, Sam, I'm not sure if you can hear me. I shot you a text. Do you mind putting some questions on there? Because I'm standing behind the camera here, and I can fire off a couple at Ivan. We're trying to make this audio-visual production work. And I think what comes down to it, Ivan, is our heart's in the right place. We're here to educate, right? I mean, we answer all of our YouTube comments. You deeply care about the detailing community. Like, you want people to get educated.
Right.
Because they have these curiosities about their vehicle. I don't see anything on screen, so I'm just going to read the Ooh. Look how dirty that is.
Yeah, and one. Dunk in the barrel, and it's clean.
And what was in your your wheel bucket, Ivan?
Probably a bit of everything. No, we have probably soap from the last wash.
You don't have to overthink that. If you got rinses, if you got soap, we're going to be doing another rinse, right?
Yeah.
Jorge says, Ivan, any difference in how you handle these glossy black wheels compared to others? They seem so scratch prone compared to some of these others.
No, clear coat is clear coat. And whether they're gloss black or they're silver, it's still clear coat you're dealing with. That's all we're dealing with.
And let's talk about what order you do the wheels in, right? You did the wheel and body brush on the face, now you're doing the barrels. Is that irrelevant in terms of order?
No, extremely relevant. You always want to do the face first. That way, if you're bringing any grit out of the barrel, when you're doing that, you're not going to be rubbing it into the face afterwards.
Sam, we got any questions, sir? I know there's probably a list of them. I don't see any on the screen, so I'll just read them as they come on.
Yeah.
All right. We got some. Let's see. Let's check in the starred section here. I think we got some cute questions here. All right. So one question is. One question is, what is the process to detail a neglected vehicle?
Yes. So definitely we can. The question that Sam just put up there about a fabric top, you can use rinseless, you can use incredible suds, you can use quick beads. All of our chemicals are safe there. The only one I wouldn't use is water spot remover because of the lactic acid. Next question, Sam. So foaming all clean with a foam cannon, yes, it's a waste of product. You're better off getting a foamer like we have if you want to put it over the whole vehicle. But if you must put it in a foam cannon, depending on what your foam cannon dilutes to, most foam cannons dilute 10 to 1 roughly. So you'd have to do 2/3 all clean, 1/3 water, and then run it through your foam cannon to get that 15 to 1 dilution. Nasty. Next, Sam. Oh, great question. Combining a water spot remover and iron remover, no. We have, well, not no. We've had that in R&D for a long time, been trying to do it, and it doesn't work. You need both separately for the water spot remover to work properly. Can you combine them? Yes. Is it efficient? No. And a good water spot remover will actually damage your clay or your, a decontamination towel, and that's something we don't want you to do. Using iron remover with the decontamination towel is great. Saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of effort, and saves you a lot of product. If we were to put the water spot remover in there and you try to use that with the towel, it's not going to work. And we don't want you to use an iron remover that you're just spraying everywhere over the vehicle. That's a waste of product and a waste of your time, too. Next question, Sam. Can you use a pressure washer on a motorcycle? Yes, on certain areas. around the forks, around the head unit, you don't want to be using a pressure washer there. They're designed to get wet, but a lot of those seals are not designed to withstand pressure. So for a motorcycle, I'd prefer just a garden hose, except for maybe the wheels themselves. Keep going, Sam. Ask away. Great question. What is the standard operating procedure or the order of operations before applying a coating? Whether it be hydrate, whether it be our 1 year, it's all the same. You start, first of all, contact wash, then decontamination. That decontamination is iron remover and the perforated synthetic decontamination, or the quad fold towel. Next, you rinse that off. Once you rinse that off, water spot remover. Agitate the water spot remover with a rinseless dampened towel or soap dampened towel, your choice. Then after that, rinse that off. Dry the vehicle. Then polish, remove polish residue, use the adhesion promoter polish or panel prep, but app is better. Remove that residue and apply your coating. It's that simple. This morning, Nick and I, so right now it's 20 after 11. We started at 8:30, and at 10:30, we can show you the car outside. We washed it, decontaminated, polished, and coated it. And we weren't in a rush. We were filming a video explaining stuff to you at the same time. Now, I'm going to be using the Perfectly Safe brush because we get the question, can I use the brush with rinseless wash? The answer is yes. How are you doing with the wheels over there, Nick?
I'm doing great. The barrels are dirty, Ivan.
Yes, they are. This is a car that drives through a car wash on a regular basis. And that's why you got some of that streaking on the hood, and why only the faces of the wheels were clean, because a car wash never cleans the barrels.
Sam, do we have any other questions, sir?
We can't hear you, Sam.
Sam, think rapid fire here, because I
Yeah.
think it's hard for me to.
The process to detail a neglected vehicle is the same as a maintained vehicle. You wash, you decontaminate, you polish, and you coat. There's no difference. And that's where a lot of people say, well, you guys only clean cars. Yes, the process is the same for a clean car or dirty car. The only difference might be we'll spend a little more time scrubbing, or we might do a pre-spray with all cleaning. That's the only real difference.
That's the thing I was going to say is we did one yesterday, Ivan.
Yeah.
And we pre-foamed everything with all clean.
Yeah. And you might have to rinse a little more. Next question, Sam. On a wrapped vehicle, you still need to decontaminate. You may not polish, and if it's freshly wrapped, they should have decontaminated the paint underneath the wrap. If it's a freshly wrapped vehicle, wash it and coat it. You don't need to polish. With the brush, you start at the top, you work your way down. The bristles get in all the little areas. It's easy to do the underside of the bumper. Then, it's also easy to train your bucket to move around with you.
Sam, how many people are watching right now? We wanted to do a giveaway, and I'll meander over to the camera and see what we got going on over here.
We don't see it there.
Yeah, we can't see how many people are watching. Okay, so Christopher Pape asked the process to ceramic coat a freshly wrapped car.
Yeah.
Sam, if you could put another question on there, we can go ahead and try to answer that one. If I don't see one, I'll just ask Ivan a little bit more about this Perfectly Safe brush. You know, you say it's safe, and yet people always ask. Ivan, the
Yeah.
brush?
Yeah, well, Sam was asking me another question here.
Yep.
Someone's worried about hydrate.
Okay.
They're going to be applying hydrate in a humid environment, and they're concerned about how long am I going to wait. It's very easy. Do a couple panels, go back to that first panel and look at it. If 50% of it has gone back to clear, then it's time to level. If it still looks like that oil slick on water look, don't worry about it. Keep going. Normally, I could do a whole vehicle apply before I start leveling.
So again, any problems with applying to a couple panels at a time before leveling? I think
No.
the answer to that is no, not at all.
Not at all.
Any other tips for hydrate, Ivan? I think it's one of those you try it the first time, it's going to be a little different. And by the second time you do it, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so simple, right?
Yes, it's it's an acquired taste. In the sense that, yes, you will, if you're used to our older coatings, you'll find hydrate a little more difficult the first time you use it. But after that, it gets simple. Now, the brush allows us to get in everywhere with ease. So around this mirror, not a problem. I can get under the mirror here. And this one little section, all I need to do is move the mirror out of the way. And there we go. It's all done. The bristles of the brush also behind the handle here. Very easy to get the bristles in there. And just like the sponge that Nick is using, you can see where you've been.
I wanted to ask you, Ivan. I love the Legacy sponge.
Yes.
We're using DIY Detail Rinseless Wash, 256-to-1 dilution. Couldn't be any simpler or more efficient. When the camera's not on, what does Ivan reach for? Is it the perfectly safe brush or the Legacy sponge?
Depends on the vehicle, Nick. If the vehicle is dirtier, I'll actually reach for the sponge. If it's relatively clean like this one, I'll grab the brush. The brush is not aggressive enough to clean a dirty car. And that's where people confuse, oh, a brush is going to scratch. The bristles on this brush are much, much softer than any clear coat I've ever seen. They are not going to scratch. The way you scratch paint with a brush is A, use a really bad brush, but B, even if you have a great brush, but you have grit on the surface, that grit is what's doing the scratching. And if that grit was on the surface with a wash mitt, you're still going to scratch it. And if that grit is on the surface with a sponge, you're still going to scratch it. That's why the chemical rinse chemical or foam rinse foam.
Can we show the hood real quick?
Yeah.
And show people the beauty of Rinseless Wash? So you can literally tell where you've been. If you're like me and you forget everything, where am I, what am I doing? What panel have I washed? I'll wash this panel 3 times and forget that panel. Hey, I hope you're not like me, but you might be, okay? Rinseless Wash will tell you. It will actually talk back to you. It's a good assistant here. You can tell where I've washed, can't you, Ivan?
Yeah.
What's the difference between, so you see these tight water beads here? That's where we haven't touched it with the contact wash. Here you see those swipe marks. I almost wondered, did I do the front bumper? No, because I can see the beads here.
Yeah.
So be meticulous, but if not, be a rinseless washer, because Rinseless Wash has got your back. That's all I'm going to say about that, Ivan.
Yeah, definitely the rinseless wash is fun. It gives you a visual representation better than soap, because with soap, well, sometimes you have too much suds on the surface and you can't tell where you've been. And even though you've brushed or you've gone over it with a sponge or your mitt, afterwards, it all sort of blends back together.
All right, Ivan, we got a new question from Jim Taylor. He just bought a 2026 Lexus LC500 convertible Inspiration
Congratulations.
Series. Congratulations. I ordered several DIY Detail products to decontaminate, light paint protection, cloth top, and 1-year ceramic coating. Should I PPF? And then the question cuts off.
Well,
So I'm not really sure what the rest of the question says.
no, it could be. So PPF is great if you need it. A lot of people put way too much PPF on a car, first of all. Secondly, a lot of people don't need PPF. The car you just traded in, did it have full of stone chips on the front? If the answer is no, then you probably don't need PPF. Now, if you're on the highway every day, and yes, it was full of stone chips everywhere, then yes, you need PPF. And all the coating products that we have can be used on PPF. Next question, Sam.
Ivan, we're going to do it live.
Excellent question. Do we have written instructions, what to use, when to use, how to use it? No, we don't. We do have, though, you have our channel, our YouTube channel that has all this stuff on it. There's also another app that you can get that's called We Are Detailing. And it's a bunch of us, not just DIY Detail, but a bunch of companies that have gotten together to provide free education for you. And in that, there's all sorts of things from tint to PPF to washing to interior repair, you name it, it's there. And they're all nice, short little capsules.
Yeah, that's very helpful. And then it's also helpful just to watch these videos and get a real feel for how we do things and why. So you start to answer those questions of what is the standard operating procedure? You can kind of start to answer those through experience and through watching it. So through experience, I know that the legacy sponge can get a little dirty on lower panels, right? Oh my gosh, we got some oils from the ground. This is the beauty of rinseless wash. You just drop your sponge in the rinseless. I'm not even hitting against the grit guard. Give it a little shake, and boom, the sponge is clean. So the great thing about rinseless, Ivan, is when your sponge goes back into the bucket, it releases everything, and then you have a clean wash media when you take it back out.
Yeah, and speaking of clean wash media, Nick, and tracers, just the last foot of your windshield, I missed that with the brush. So.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I missed it because I wouldn't have been
No,
surprised.
because normally I do the whole windshield, but
So
I
just
didn't.
right about here?
Yeah,
And then how about the roof?
I did the full roof.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Next, we're going to decontaminate this vehicle. Now, not today, but you'll see in a future video, we'll be coating this vehicle. But I have our quad full towel, and just want to give you a little more instructions on the quad full towel. First of all, the red side is just to hold the liquid. You don't use that side. We have 4 sides, making it easy to fold. Now, the reason we have it easy to fold like this is we want you to use it folded. Before, when we had the one piece of decontamination material on the towel, we saw people doing this, and this freaked me out. They would do this and just move it around like that. No, we want it to be folded. That gives you a nice thickness, less chance of pressure points, and if you do happen to squeeze it, look, more moisture comes out, more lubrication. The other thing with our iron remover, 1 spray on the panel, 1 spray on the towel, not more. There are iron removers out there that you can dilute, and when you dilute them, that's fine, because they're telling you to put way too much on the surface. If that is how you're using our iron remover by spraying it everywhere, go ahead and dilute it. But we like a very concentrated iron remover with surfactants that allows us to do this. 1 spray on the towel, 1 on the panel, where they are, we match them up, and then we decontaminate.
Sam, there was a question there, and it disappeared. And I think it was for Ivan about some kind of vehicle prep. And I was trying to read it, and we're washing, we're talking. Ivan's explaining iron remover like he does so well. Ivan, when do you stop the decon process? When do you know you're done with your towel on that panel?
It's a feeling thing. And it's not something we can explain. It's not something we can put in writing. It's as you're moving the towel along the surface, it will all of a sudden feel smooth. And when you get that smooth feeling, stop, you're done. Now, quad full towel, we have 4 sides to work with. 1 panel, 1 side. 1 spray on the panel, 1 on the towel, match them up, go to the next panel.
How many bottles of ceramic coating I need if I have a 45 feet full, the Prévost Libre, 2 sides.
So, if you want to do both sides of your Prévost, including the front and the back, you'll need 2 bottles.
Wait, what was the question, Ivan? Could you repeat that?
For a 45-foot Prévost Liberty, how many bottles of coating do they need? So it's the same size as our bus. 2 bottles is enough.
Is it 2 bottles if they do it the perfect way, or can they get away with being an average detailer who maybe uses too much product the first time they try? Because you know me.
Yeah.
I'm the example of like, you're going to use more than Ivan says, even though that's not what you should do. Are you going to run out with 2 bottles?
You're not going to run out.
Okay, cool. I'm just looking out for the people.
They look big, but remember, you're not doing the roof. So you're just doing the sides of the bus. You're not doing the roof. There's a lot of windows there, so don't worry about it.
1 spray on the panel, 1 spray on the towel, as Ivan said. Rinseless wash as our bed of lubrication. How long should they expect this to take, Ivan? A wash, a decon? If we're not talking and answering questions and doing audio visual, right? In the real world.
If my employees took more than half an hour, we are questioning them why they're taking so long. It's a very quick process once you learn how to do it, and being methodical. having the bucket that follows you, having everything ready to go when you need it and where you need it. Those are all things. You know, a lot of hobbyists, they run into the trap of A, having too many products, and B, not organizing those too many products. Therefore, they're looking for this, they're looking for that. That takes a lot of time. If you have everything organized, ready to go before you start, it's going to take you a lot less time. When you're done with something, put it away.
All right, we've got another question here. It's
Yep.
from Wayne. He says, for a heavy road film covered vehicle, are you using rinseless or incredible suds? Let's be honest. Which one and why? Is one better at cleaning than the other? We've all wondered this, Ivan.
Yes, if soap can clean it, rinseless can clean it. There's no difference between the two in terms of cleaning power. So don't worry about it. Now, are there advantages to soap? Sometimes. It's more fun. That's the only advantage. Are there advantages to rinseless? Yes, it takes less time. They both do a great job. They're both very powerful cleaners.
And we say it all the time that foam is fun, but there's no reason to think rinseless isn't fun.
No, it is.
Like, I love the smell. When I smell rinseless, I just feel like things are getting done today.
Yeah.
It's a nice feeling.
And I rather drive a car than wash a car. So the less time I spend cleaning it, the more fun I have driving it.
Where are my frequently contaminated areas? Where do I need to be extra careful if I can't see the contamination on a vehicle?
The upper surfaces and right behind the wheels. Those are the areas that accumulate the most contamination.
Great question from Craig coming in here. Wants to ceramic coat and do restore and protect, which is our trim and plastic restoration product. But he says he doubts I can do it all in one day. Can I just polish the paint and trim and just coat one coating first and do the trim or paint later?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, Sam, I don't know if
Yeah.
Sam, you can hear the live stream, but I just asked that question, so I appreciate that. Do you want to elaborate that a little bit, Ivan?
Yeah, so you can break it up into 2 days if you want. It's not a big concern. Or you can do it all at once. It's actually easier than you think. A lot of people think this is going to take them days to do. It's not that long to do. And if you're going to be doing restore and protect and the ink coating, I do the restore and protect first. Give it at least a couple hours to cure, or be very careful not to put the other coating on top of it.
So a couple hours, or be really careful, and in an ideal world, you would do it and wait how long? Like if time was no object and you could do it all perfectly.
I would wait 1 day, and the reason I would wait 1 day is I would apply the trim, restore, and protect. Once the trim, restore, and protect is on the surface and dried for a day, I would actually put the ceramic coating over top of it.
And that way, if you accidentally get a little bit on that panel, it's already protected.
Right, and actually I want to, if I can, I'm going to do a double protection.
And a day's long enough for that?
Oh yes.
Just getting the decontamination off camera here on the back and the rear and the
Yep.
driver's side.
We're almost done here with the iron remover decontamination step. And very important is this iron remover decontamination step. If you're just doing iron remover and spraying it on the vehicle, you're actually not doing much.
Okay, we got another question from CC Adama, and that question is, use your gold standard polish to polish the plastic side molding before applying trim, restore, and protect. There are places the 2 rear view mirrors is what they're asking. I can't reach with my Milwaukee 5-inch rotary. Suggestions?
Get you can do it by hand or go for a larger pad. A lot of people think a small pad is more convenient. Larger pad actually gets you into better areas.
If you've got like the polish and the compound too, and you're just doing the blob of polishing liquid on the towel, because our hand is not like a polisher, right? There's
Right.
no way we can be as efficient or powerful as a polisher. Sometimes if I've got the option, I'm not saying you have to, but let's say you're a detailer and you've got both, I'll put a little compound on a rag.
Yeah.
If I have those little water spots on the sides of the mirror, and that can sometimes get it too, but usually polish on a towel does a great job.
Definitely.
Are you stressed out, Ivan?
No stress whatsoever.
Overwhelmed?
No.
Ready to quit detailing? No, Ivan loves this.
No.
Next question. Kostiani Draval says, "Hi guys, thanks for so many great products. Question regarding gold standard polish." I'm reading off the phone here.
Yeah.
It is so viscous that it doesn't spray. Anything to do after shipping to make it sprayable? So they're saying that their gold standard polish isn't spraying.
Make sure that your trigger is actually working. You might want to put your trigger in a bit of water first, spray that through. Then you'll see if the trigger is actually doing its job. And it is very viscous, but it will spray. The other thing you can do is open up the trigger. So open this up, spray a couple times, get it flowing, and then adjust your spray.
Ivan, we want to do a giveaway on this live stream.
Right.
When would you like to do that giveaway? We were going to give away a wash clay seal kit valued at, I think, somewhere between, I can't remember, but
I forget.
$80 or so. So a nice value for you out there. All of our kits, by the way, are discounted. So when you get them in a bundle, you're saving a lot anyway.
Yes.
But we're doing a wash and a clay. So let's give away a wash clay seal kit.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're ready for that yet. We have 148 people watching.
Let's give it a little time.
Okay, we're 40 minutes into the stream.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We're going to do a giveaway. It might be a trivia question. It might be a random one. We don't know yet. You're going to demonstrate something with the sprayer.
Yeah, the other thing, sometimes with the sprayer, take this little piece off the end. That might help as well.
Rach says, I lost the tip off my Tampico brush. So that's our that's our wheelbarrow brush.
Right.
Any tips to fix it?
Yes, get some heat shrink tubing, put it on there. Or the other thing you can do, if you go to an auto parts store, they have little rubber caps that they sell for vacuum lines or for capping vacuum lines on carburetors. I know carburetors, they're a little old, but they should still have them at the auto parts store. You can put them there. And for myself, that little tip, I've never seen, I think one of our brushes is missing that tip. I don't use the tip to clean the wheel. I use the Tampico fiber, so I'm not worried about it.
Right. You just don't want to be too aggressive when you're poking in there.
Yep.
If you slip or something, but otherwise there's nothing to worry about.
So we'll let Nick get his side done. Any other questions, Sam? Or do you have that phone, Nick? So I can
I've
see
got
the
the phone, so I'm trying to clay and talk you. Why don't you grab the phone? That'll be your little. I'm almost done. This is taking longer than it normally would. By the way,
two
folks.
things at once is not Nick's forte here.
One thing at once is sometimes not my forte.
So our machete says, I did the Type 1 5.3 stack 2 years ago on 3 of my vehicles, and I'm thinking of doing the Type 3 1 year after a wash and decontamination. App before taking them out for the spring, your thoughts? Yes, I would use the app. So do a good decontamination, follow it up with the app, and then put the 1 year on. Monzi, any tips on what brushes to buy? Yes, DIY detail brushes. We actually have a nice kit that has all our brushes in it. You'll notice we rarely, if ever, use those little fine brushes. Basically, we have our wheel and body brush. We have the perfectly safe brush for the body. We have the wheel and tire, we have the tire dressing brush, and we have our barrel brush.
Those are the only one. I mean, those 4 brushes are staples in what we do.
Right. So, and you can see just how soft this is, how deep the flagging is all the way around, and our flagging is even around all our brushes. That's the way it should be. And they're very, very, very soft.
Ivan, one step folks may skip is decontaminating glass.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Yeah, always decontaminate your glass. It's going to make it much easier to clean.
And that's what I've done now. So I'm done with the clay towel, the perforated synthetic decontamination towel, the quad fold PSD towel.
Yes.
Just kind of rolls off the tongue.
Something like that, yeah.
So we're done now, right?
We're done with the iron remover step. Next, let's rinse it off again. Here, Nick, answer a few questions while I'm rinsing.
The question machine here. Jorge, what's up, Jorge? Says, Ivan, any difference in how you handle those glossy black wheels? Okay, we already answered that question, Sam, but maybe it's worth talking about again.
No. Clear coat is clear coat. There's no difference in how you handle them.
Respect the wheel. These wheel and body brushes, the green ones, do a fantastic job. There's a question for Ivan from Taylor. When are you coming to Carzilla?
In a couple of weeks, actually.
Okay, Ivan will be in Canada at Carzilla in a couple weeks. Jorge says, I know your gentle approach, but would you use wheel acid on the glossy? Would you use wheel acid on glossy tires or glossy black wheels, Ivan?
I couldn't hear you because of the pressure washer.
Would you use wheel acid on glossy black wheels?
I wouldn't use wheel acid anywhere near a car, personally. And no, don't do that. Wheel acid is designed for when we used to have chrome wheels and stainless steel hubcaps. Wheel acid is not good on clear coat. Whether it's on the wheels, whether it's on the paint, it's not a modern chemical because we're not dealing with, we're dealing with modern things that when wheel acids were invented, we didn't have these things.
I think of the person using wheel acid as like the young and brazen 20-year-old, and he's like the veteran who's seen many battles, and the 20-year-old is ready to go off and fight a war and prove themselves, and Ivan's like, I've seen too many things go wrong. I have the wisdom, but the young men won't listen to me. They want to go and do what they're going to do anyway. You've seen acid go wrong.
Many times. Yeah.
Many times. So listen, Ivan, or just know that you were warned. And Reyes detail. Oh, go ahead.
Well, it's not just the brazen young guys too. It's some guys that are my age that think they know everything. And I've been using acid since the 80s. Yes, you have, and you've been screwing things up since the 80s.
Well, Ivan feels very strongly about this. Reyes says, what grit guards do you guys use in the buckets?
We have numerous here. We have some that are the Grit Guard brand. We have some that are the Detail Guards brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both work.
And often we don't even use the grit guard to like put our sponge against it, right?
No, our sponge has never made it down to the Grit Guard. The Grit Guard is just there to protect the stuff from swirling in the bottom.
I don't even use a grit guard at home.
No, so we use Grit Guards, but you'll notice our gloves. They never get wet on the inside because we don't put our hand all the way into the bucket. We just go to the surface of the bucket. That's all you need.
Yep. We've got 161 people watching. Lamb Chop, what's up, brother, says, I had to do a decon wash with no running water. Used rinseless wash and a sprayer to rinse off the water spot remover. Was that okay?
At a minimum, yes. I would want personally to have at least a garden hose, but that will work.
That's called making it happen, Ivan.
Yeah.
So we're almost done with the spraying. We know that a pressure washer live on camera is not ideal, but we're giving you the live wash and talk. This would have been done by now, I promise you, because I do this with Ivan all the time. But we're answering questions. Good Wash Detail says, can you make a smaller, perfectly safe brush for more tighter areas, like around the mirrors and the grill?
We have one. It's called the Wheel and Body Brush.
This is actually not as soft, though, as a perfectly safe brush, is it?
It's 90% there.
Okay.
This one has a little more strength to it because we do wheels and body. But these bristles, these flat tip bristles, again, they're softer than any clear coat. They're not going to scratch. This brush, this particular type of brush I've been using for a long time. I know people that wash their whole car with this brush. It's that safe.
And that the green doesn't mean that every green brush is the same, right?
No. There are big differences in brushes. Order one off of some site, I don't care which one, and order ours, put them side by side, and see which one you actually want to use.
And then compare it on your paint, but just know you should bring a polisher.
Don't compare it on your paint because you're going to scratch it
No,
with the other
then
brushes.
get a polisher and get ready to polish out the other one because it might very well scratch your paint. No, don't do that. We don't want to polish clear coat unless we absolutely need to, right? We want to preserve the clear coat. Sylvie says, test it on your skin. Bert Lang says, why is there hard paint or soft paint when clear coat is basically the same?
How it was cured, what chemicals were used, et cetera, and hard paint, soft paint is something that detailers really, really overthink. I'm lucky. When we had our employees in our shops, most of them did not read English, and they didn't worry about hard or soft paint. They just polished, and they were happy, and so were the customers.
All right, Rosie Margin says, what's wrong with 16:1 for foamy rinseless?
16:1 gets you close. And so depending on your foam cannon, so that's pretty close. But you can foam rinse this on, that's fine. A lot of the times though, you're putting too much on when you're doing that.
Ivan, we're spraying water spot remover on like people know what's happening and why we're doing it.
Right.
Maybe we should explain it.
Well, go ahead, Nick.
Well, water spot remover is actually kind of a mineral cleanse. We're not necessarily going after water spots here. We're trying to remove the minerals from the paint. And they're not always visible, Ivan. They're not always in the form of a water spot, but they can clog up the pores of our coating, clog up the pores of our clear coat. And so this is the last step in decontamination.
Yeah. Now, one thing we always do, first of all, we don't put too much on the surface, because if you put too much on the surface, you're just going to waste it. We take a nice level 1 towel, like this one, and We'll fold it in 4, because we always like to fold our towels, and then wring it out. The wringing out is the important part here. You want a rinseless dampened, you don't want a wet towel.
Ivan, I'm monitoring questions here.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you.
Throw me over your towel. I'll show you this one.
All right. Extra Rice, please, says, we'll be coating outside, battling pollen. We'll apply app, then have panel prep to clean any pollen on the surface per section as I coat. Would the panel prep negate the effects of the app?
Yes.
Good
you don't want
question.
to. You don't want to do both. So basically, if you're coating outside and you're dealing with pollen, actually in the last live stream I was on when we introduced Hydrate, we were dealing with pollen outside. So what you can do is do one section at a time, meaning you app, you wipe, and you coat that panel, then move on to the next one, then move on to the next one. Do it that way.
Just one by one.
Yeah.
Okay, normally I'm the one wringing out my water spot remover towel, and Ivan passed me his.
Yeah.
This is not dripping at all.
No.
Like, you go to town on these.
Yeah.
So when you tell people to wring out your dampened towel for the water spot remover agitation,
Yeah.
there's nothing left to give here.
No.
A little bit, but
Yeah.
like, that's okay. Now I know Ivan's standard. It's like, because why? Why do we wring this out so much?
Because we're wanting to distribute the water spot remover. We're not wanting to dilute it, and we're definitely not wanting to remove it from the surface.
That makes sense. Okay, there's another question on the screen here, I'll bet. Thork Racing says, Salud, Ivan. Any tips to remove salt stain on the carpet? I use vinegar and hot water, but I'm tired of the smell. LOL.
Yes.
Merci.
All clean. Diluted 15:1 in a spray bottle. Spray it not away from the salt. Put the nozzle right up to the salt. Spray it. Let it dwell while you're washing the outside of the car. Come back, scrape and vacuum. You'll be happy.
How long to come back?
By the time you wash the car, but give it about half an hour.
Okay.
Rinse it, yeah. Sylvia's saying rinseless wash works as well. Yes, it does. The all clean, if you've got that really heavy, thick crust, is a better solution. But they both work.
We're focusing on agitating in this water spot remover. Why is that a critical part of this process?
We're releasing the minerals from the surface. And in releasing the minerals, this agitation is helping to move them along. Now, we're not worried. First of all, we're not flipping the towel, which is really weird. It takes some getting used to. But also, we're not worried about it because we've washed, we've decontaminated. The surface is clean for all intents and purposes. It just has minerals on it.
Really good question in from Kyle. Should you use C6 app before trim, restore, and protect?
Yes, you can. On plastic trim, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. But it's not a bad thing to do, definitely.
Well, is panel prep better?
Panel prep or app, it's up to you.
All right. Steve Fulton says, I have a ceramic coated vehicle and it has lost some of the hydrophobic properties over the winter. What would be the best chemical to use to restore some of those properties?
I didn't hear Sylvia was talking at
yep.
the same time you were.
So I have a ceramic coated vehicle, lost some of its hydrophobic properties. What's the best chemical to restore some of those properties?
Do exactly what we've done here. So you wash it, you decontaminate with iron remover and the decontamination towel, follow up with the water spot remover, your coating should bounce right back.
Yeah, that's a question we get all the time, right? Is like this decon process, is it for a non-coated car? Is it for a coated car? And the answer is yes. All of the above. All right, Ivan and
Yeah.
Nick
So-
detailing a vehicle live on the internet with more questions. Rose says,
Yeah, 1 second, Nick.
okay.
What Sylvia was saying is not all water spot removers are made the same.
Oh,
Some of
good
them
call.
use acids that really shouldn't be going on paint. They're basically diluting a wheel acid. You want lactic acid or acetic acid. Those are the two that are actually safe and do a good job.
So how can they sift through all of the products out there and know they're getting the right one?
Well, buy DIY or look at SDS sheets.
No,
Next
it's just
question.
like we give people a really clear recipe, right? And it's easy to overthink all this stuff. If you do this wash and decontamination process the way we teach, you're going to get the results you're looking for, and that's worth it, folks. Rose says, when is All Clean version 2 coming out? And will we be able to dilute it at 100:1 for exterior use?
It's on its way, and no, the dilution ratio will stay at 15:1.
100:1 sounds pretty impressive, but I mean, knowing me, I probably would still use it at 15:1 anyway.
Well, and at 100 to 1, that's actually, if you have something that is that potent that you can use it at 100 to 1, someone who doesn't dilute it properly, oh, I'll just do 50 to 1. They can really damage something.
I was joking about that. I would never use it the wrong way knowing it was too powerful, but having been the person who just kind of like glugged everything, people are going to overuse it, is what I'm saying. So the dilution ratio of 15 to 1 is good. You okay over there, Ivan?
Yep.
All right. We're making this work. We appreciate everyone's patience, by the way. I'm asking Ivan the question here from e-Coffee Solutions. What ceramic products are best over matte satin PPF? Please include both C6 Professional and consumer products in your recommendation.
The only one I wouldn't use on matte is Hydrate, because it's actually going to make it glossy. All our other coatings are great on matte surfaces.
Hydrate's different, Ivan.
Hydrate fills, so
It's a special one.
yeah, it definitely is a new technology.
All right. Hopefully that is helpful. I wonder what vehicle you're referring to, and we hope that it's as beautiful as you want it to be when you're all done. Sky Blue says, can you mix a bit of rinseless wash with your incredible suds?
Yeah, you can, but
Sylvie's
why?
like-
Yeah,
Why are you laughing, Sylvie?
one or the other. You don't need to do both.
It's fun to mix and match and to play the chemist, though, isn't it, Ivan?
It's fun, but you're actually diluting one with the other. Really doesn't help you. It's not going to do anything more. I know people have said in the past that, oh, you should, some brands will say, oh, you need to add a bit of this for extra lubrication or water spots or what. No, just use one or the other.
All right, More Family says, if you've used C6 Hydro Glass on the windshield of a white vehicle and you want to add a Type 2 5-year ceramic coating, can you still coat the windshield or just skip?
You can coat the windshield. If you have Hydro Glass on there, just skip it. If it's still performing properly, you don't need to recoat it. If you are going to recoat it with the 5-year, then you need to polish that Hydro Glass off.
And would they use app on the windshield after that or panel prep?
Panel prep is fine.
But if they're not doing Hydro Glass, you could do app if they're
Yeah.
apping the whole car? Since they're going to recoat, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got the front bumper to do, and then after that, we'll show you what to do with this towel.
All right. Kostianitidreval says, oops, did I miss the question, Sam? I'm sorry. Do you decon a Tesla Cybertruck as a regular painted vehicle, or is it a different process? That's from JLM Auto and Cycle Detail.
Slightly different. Hawaii Detailing, I think that's the name of his channel. He just put out a video on his Cybertruck a few weeks ago. It's the most up-to-date video on how to do it. And he's done a great job, so look that up. There's probably someone in the comments that has seen the videos. If you can put a link up to it, that would be great. When you're done distributing the water spot remover, take your towel, wring it out, and you do not put this towel back in your wash bucket. We have a bucket here that we keep with a bit of rinseless wash that we put it in. You don't want to put it back in your wash bucket because the lactic acid can actually damage the brushes and damage your sponges.
Question here. Looks like Initial K Auto Spot here, I think out of Vegas. What's up, man? I had a Nissan Skyline from Japan that had fallout in the gaps. Iron remover and the exothermal trick using all clean and water spot remover didn't work. Any tips?
That's very difficult to do when it's in the gaps like that. So I would use the iron remover with a small brush to get in there, and you might need to do several rounds.
So you're not saying throw some wheel acid in there
No.
and pray?
Get wheel acid out of your life, Nick.
When Ivan gets angry, you know we're on to education. Because I'm touching into a spot of real passion. And we love detailing around here. We're passionate.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like when I talk about acid. It's very...
Wheel acid is something that should have disappeared with the carburetor.
Ivan has a strong opinion on many things. All right, Braxton says, can you polish and coat a car in the sun? Pros and cons about leaving car in the garage overnight after coating.
So, yes, you can apply a coating in the sun, you can wash, you can polish, you can do all that in the sun. And 1 hour after our coatings are on the car, they can be in the rain too. So you don't need to put it in the garage overnight. Don't worry about it.
But you could if you want.
If you want to, definitely. But it's not a necessity. You can do everything outside. And to touch on the wheel acid thing, Nick, just to bring that up, it's not about passion. It's about I've answered so many people's questions on, I used wheel acid on this and I screwed this up. or I used wheel acid here and this happened. That's why I'm telling people not to use wheel acid, because the oopsies will happen to you eventually.
And the oopsies are real. They're not reversible.
No, like replacing all the windows on a car because wheel acid etched all the windows. Replacing wheels on a car. Infiniti used to have this finish on their wheels that was almost looked like chrome. As soon as wheel acid touched it, it turned black and stayed black. The only way to fix that was to refinish or replace the wheels.
And that's just a terrifying whoopsie.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a professional thing you're doing, if you just mess up your own car, but especially if you're doing someone else's car,
Yeah.
that's the last thing you want.
So just acid, take it out of your life.
The super degreaser is a thing.
Yeah, so we're saying there's some degreasers on the market, not all-purpose cleaners, some degreasers that people are using as a detailing chemical. They are not detailing chemicals.
H-Car Detailing says, I interior detailed my Jeep. When will I do the Subaru? It should be in a live like today. Yeah, the Subaru has some issues. We have some
Nick,
insects in there who have.
Just move out of the way of the
I'm
water.
gonna get out of the way. We're getting water spot remover. The Subaru had some issues, maybe some insects in there. We're working on it. More to come, maybe on Nick at Night on the House of Rags YouTube channel. Vinny IG just got the 1-year ceramic spray coating to apply as a topper. The only thing I don't want to be downwind from water spot remover. It is that acid coming at me, but again, not the wheel acid that Ivan talks about. You can go ahead and record Ivan there. I'll get out of the way, but the question is, I just got the 1-year ceramic spray coating to apply as a topper on the 5.3 stack. What should I expect? Okay, I have a very easy question. We're talking about a 1-year topper and what they should expect with the 1 year.
Yeah.
He's got the 5.3 stack. Fun, gloss, really amazing water beads, and ease of application. Anything
Right.
else?
And you've got the 5.3 stack. You may not even need the 1 year, but if you want to use it, great. Suggestion, do everything we've done here, good decontamination, app, and then apply.
So don't polish over the 5.3 stack, but do
No.
app. It'll
Yeah.
deeply clean, and it'll just kind of. Why would you do app if you already had the 5.3 stack?
To deep clean it.
To deep clean it.
So the 1 year can bond even better.
Okay.
Yep.
Ivan's always going to tell you the proper way to do it. You could get away with not apping first, but then are you the person who gets away with something, or do you want to do it the right way? Right. That's the whole question.
Yeah. Quick beads, always on the wheels.
Ivan loves quick beads on
Keep
the wheels.
moving
Who
down.
doesn't? I'll get out of your way. Just Do in Florida says, if there are a lot of wet leaves on cars sat under a tree. So wet leaves on a car sat under the tree. What's
Yeah.
the best method of removing them before starting the wash? Leaf blower, pressure washer, vacuum even?
Vacuum, you might hit the car, so no. Leaf blower is great. Pressure washer, maybe not, because those leaves can do damage. Foam the car, even though the leaves are there. Let the foam get underneath the leaves and then pressure wash.
Would you like pluck them off by hand?
If you want to, yeah.
Okay, okay. So the foaming will help even
Yes.
big chunky leaves. Okay, great. Hopefully that's helpful. 176 people watching. We promised a wash, play, seal kit. It's been an hour, Ivan. Are we going to keep the suspense going?
Let's get the car dried and then we'll do the
We'll get
giveaway.
the car dry. We'll do a giveaway then. So stay tuned, everybody. Lamb Chop says, installed my first coating yesterday. Hey, congratulations. I chose C6 Hydro Light. Was this a good first coating, or do the DIY coatings apply easier?
No, they all apply super easy.
Yeah, Hydro Light,
Yeah.
very easy coating to install. They're all super simple to apply. Even our Hydrate is easy once you figure out that it's a slightly different process. It just requires a little bit of patience, Ivan.
Yeah, Hydrate, if you've never applied any coating before, you're great. If you've applied one of our coatings before and you switch over to Hydrate, your first reaction is going to be, oh my God, what have they done? Till you try it once or twice. And then from there, it's like, oh, actually, this is super easy. It just takes a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Keith says, when completing the wash clay seal, DIY style, on a heavily contaminated vehicle, should we abort the ceramic gloss envy as the lubricant and move to iron remover? Yes, the answer is yes. I think
Yes.
the iron remover is a much better step if you're on a heavily contaminated vehicle. The envy or ceramic gloss or even quick beads as your lubricant under your clay towel, that's for a more maintained vehicle. That's for something you're doing a little more periodically. If it's a deep dive decon, iron remover with your clay towel is the way to go. I know that's the right answer because I asked Ivan that for one of our videos recently that we recorded yesterday. In fact, we record anywhere from 4 to 8 long-form videos a day when we're in Omaha. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're here to deliver you those long-form videos for education, not for clickbait.
No.
No, literally to like provide long-form information for you, so you can come here, you can watch these videos, and you can really learn how to detail. It's a super rewarding skill, and if you're here, obviously you know that.
Yeah. Speaking of super rewarding skill, this is something that not many people do. Once you're done with your pressure washer, turn it off, turn the water off. Release the pressure from your hose. Makes it a lot easier to wind up. And speaking of winding up the hose, when you're done, take the time to wind it up and don't make a mess like this.
Ivan let me roll the hose up one time and then it was like, nope. What's your trick to getting those neat lines? How do you do that?
It's super easy, Nick. You just hold on to the hose and follow.
Because mine ended up like a big mess.
Right.
Okay, you're on the way to the left, now you're going back right?
Yeah.
And you have it kind of taut in your right hand there. So is there,
Right.
You want to keep some pressure there?
Well, I'm cleaning the hose at the same time with this towel.
Look at that.
Now it's ready to go the next time. It makes
at
life
that.
easier. If you have the, have to detail a car syndrome, that's because probably you didn't clean up the last time.
Oh, as in like I have to detail, like I don't want to do it because there's so much
Stuff to do.
Yeah. That's a good point. So
Yes.
keeping everything kind of organized and easy to access and ready to go
Yep.
makes your next detail not only easier, but more likely to happen in the first place.
Right.
All right, I still got this question from Keith on the surface here on the screen. When I get a new one, I'll ask it. Right now, we're going to dry the vehicle, as one does after a wash. And I guess depends on what towel you want to. What do you have over there, Ivan?
Well, we said we'd be showing you some new products here. We have the gold standard of drying towels.
We're almost at 200. We're almost at 200 people, Ivan.
Wow, excellent. Thanks for joining us. And that is the drying blanket. We love it. So do a lot of you, judging by the amount of these that we sell. But recently, we came out with the drying blanket mini. And this is a fun little towel that allows you to have one in each hand and just quickly go around the vehicle. Now, some people have said, this is too big. Some people have said, this is too small.
Now, what's coming?
The Damio towel. Now, the reason we call it the Damio towel, just so you know, these towels are all made by our manufacturer in Korea. They do a spectacular job. And we wanted to give a little nod to our Korean friends. And Damyo in Korean means small blanket. So D-A-M-Y-O means small blanket. There's no word in the English language to say small blanket, other than maybe a blankie, but I didn't like that word.
The blankie towel.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I looked up what is it in Korean, and Damyo. So it's small blanket in Korean. So this is a mid-sized blanket.
I like all three sizes.
Yes.
I sometimes will reach for this on a rinseless wash where there hasn't been a hose involved.
Yes.
So just a true no hose rinseless wash, because you don't have as much moisture.
No, these are great. They're a fun towel. The regular drying blanket, spectacular. We've had this since day one. It just does a great job. It's a phenomenal towel. But this one, this is a size I've been wanting for a while, and we're finally getting it. Don't look for it on the website yet. It's going to take a couple months still. But once they get here, you'll know, trust me.
And Sam, I don't know if you can hear me, but we don't have any new comments on this screen, so I was just going to see if we could put another one on there, unless we're out of questions, which I don't think is likely, but you never know, Ivan.
Right.
You never know. What questions do you get about drying paint, Mr.
Well,
LaCroix?
Yeah. Drying
Oh,
paint.
we just have Keith's question here from, go ahead. Oh, don't drop a phone on the floor. Here, this is Sylvie's phone. I'm not touching it anymore.
Yeah.
Sylvie, when we get a new question, you holler at me. Let me know.
So-
I got a car to dry.
Drying is simple. Don't overthink it. And please do not use a blower to do the initial drying. Use a towel. Why? A towel is actually part of the cleaning process.
But doesn't a blower prevent scratches? I just blow those beautiful water beads off my protected paint and then I'm done?
Yeah.
I've cracked the code of detailing. No more drying.
It doesn't prevent scratches, A. A good drying towel will not scratch like these. Secondly, the minerals that we just removed here, if you have any minerals in your water and you start blowing, you're just leaving more minerals on the surface. Because not only are you blowing some of that off, you're evaporating some of it at the same time.
Was that an extreme close-up?
I think so. I'm not the one on the camera. So.
For dramatic effect?
Yeah. Sylvie knew what I was going to say.
Yeah, but secret to say, go,
Do we have any more questions?
nope,
Still, Keith?
the thing.
Hopefully you're okay, Sam. We love you. If you could put another question up on the screen, that'd be amazing. We're almost done, so I'll be able to grab my computer and we'll have better access to the back end of StreamYard. I know Sam's answering comments and helping us out. Ivan, what's the best piece of detailing advice you've ever given or received?
Start detailing. Don't wait till, I can't detail because I don't have a pressure washer. I can't do this because I don't have that. Just get out there and do it. Enjoy it. Have fun. Detailing should not be stressful. It should be a stress relief.
What if it's like your prized possession and you don't want to mess it up because you've never done it before and you see all this information on the internet and you're not even sure where to start?
Subscribe to DIY Detail, and we'll give you nice, solid information that will prevent you from screwing up.
What is your favorite part of washing car washing?
For me, it's drying.
Can you ask,
Yeah,
you're a professor in class. You can't hear the question. So repeat the question, please.
What's the favorite part of washing a car? To me, it's actually drying, because you get to see the results of what you've done. Now, if it's a detail, it's handing the keys over to the customer after you've washed and polished and decontaminated and coated.
And getting paid?
That too, but yeah.
No, the rewarding exchange of gratitude, I think, when the customers are really excited.
Yes.
That's a feeling you can't quantify.
Like here, when we detail cars, we don't charge people for it because we're using their cars on camera. So it's a nice trade that we're doing with them.
Ivan, how many cars you detail on TX2K?
Just one.
Can you repeat it? Sorry, can you repeat
How
it?
How many cars did we detail at TX2K? Only one, the Snot Rocket. So.
What did you do to that? The 1 year?
Yeah, polished, washed, decon, polished in 1 year.
And didn't that coating help it win a race?
I can't say yes or no to that. It didn't hurt anything. We'll put it that way.
But didn't it do well? In the
Yes,
race?
it did extremely well. It set a new record.
Because it was coated.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll run with that, Nick.
We're not saying that's a scientific fact.
Yeah.
But emotionally, it sort of does feel like your car's faster when it's ceramic coated.
And the driver as well. He knew his car was coated, so he had more confidence in the vehicle.
He's like, oh, surely today's the day to break a record.
Yeah.
Boy, we're just about dried, aren't we, Ivan?
Yes, we are. So we'll sit down.
We've used quick beads on the wheels. I might throw some NV ceramic sealant on the face and just hit it with a Freebird 400. Maybe just kind of do that final drying. It may not be necessary, depending on who you are and who you ask.
Yeah.
If
It's
we weren't
humid
on
enough in
camera, we may, use a leaf blower to blow the wheels dry.
Well, it's humid enough in the shop, Nick. We don't need to worry about drying the wheels quite yet.
Okay.
They're not going to air dry in here with all the humidity.
If you're in direct sunlight, what's your best advice for wheels? When you're doing a wash, right, you have the whole body to contend with. How do you manage the wheels?
Do the wheels last.
That makes sense. Any other questions on screen?
I have a small spot of rust on my head. It's Ford.
Yeah, Ford Edge. So small bit of rust on a Ford Edge.
What do you
First
do?
of all, you want to remove that rust. You want to make sure that that rust is no longer there, and then touch it up. But there's no magical detailing pill to get rid of rust.
A touch-up.
Yeah, touch up paint, that's all you can do. Up on the, there we go.
Okay, we're done with the wash and decon, Ivan.
Yes. That's probably the longest one we've ever did.
Yeah, they
we've
usually
ever
don't
done.
take us this long.
Yeah. Hit that like button, friends. Thank you. Occasional detailer. What will the blankie dimensions be? Exactly half of the drying blanket. I don't have the dimensions on me. No, the Damio towel, if you can measure it. So he's going to measure it for us.
And that's the final version.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
So
we'll
can we apply the new 1 year without polishing? Yes, you can. Should you? Yeah, it's up to you. Really doesn't make a difference. If you like the look of your vehicle, wash it, decontaminate it, and apply.
26 by
26 by looks like
26.
18. 26 by 18 is the size of the Damio towel.
You could eyeball 18 inches from here?
Yeah.
That's the man who knows his stuff. Been measuring towels for decades.
Measuring things, not just
Yes.
towels. So, why don't you use DIY Detail show-winning Carnauba wax? Could I use it over NV? Yes, you can use it over NV. That's actually a good way of using it. Put your strongest product first, and then the wax on top.
We did a Volkswagen Beetle with quick beads yesterday,
Yes.
and then after drying, we applied the wax,
Yeah.
and the gloss was incredible. I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw our Instagram story or our Facebook page. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, by the way, DIY Detail, it's free to join, and Ivan posted a bunch of photos from yesterday. And the black Beetle
Yep.
waxed, I told you how good it looked, and all Ivan said is, yeah, that's the power of wax.
Yeah.
That's what wax looks like.
Wax fills.
Yeah.
Approved workman. Do you guys have any method of removing scratches from piano black trim on the interior? Yes, polish it.
That's not too scary to like polish the interior?
No, on a microfiber towel, low nap, pearl weave, preferably level 1, bit of gold standard polish, hand polish.
With even pressure, right?
Yeah.
Not like pressing really hard with one
No,
finger.
no, just
Yeah.
lightly. You may also want to use our coating and wax applicator pad. That does a great job too.
Oh, the red one.
Yeah.
To polish.
I'll let Nick answer this one.
Yeah,
From
sometimes
Devin
it's-
Dad.
Devin says, as a hobbyist, I find the videos very helpful. Oh, new question. Okay. Sorry about that. Sam put a new question up. What is the correct procedure for ceramic coating wheels, Ivan?
Clean, decontaminate, polish if you want to, and apply.
How would you polish wheels? That's a good question.
Depending on the wheel itself, something like this would be horrendous to polish. A nice clean 5-spoke, you can do it with the machine. It's however you can. Ideally, buy brand new wheels and coat those.
If you thought Ivan's response to my wheel acid comment was strong, if I asked you, hey, should we hand polish and ceramic coat these wheels today?
Yeah, the answer is no. That's what Quick Beads is for.
If it was a new wheel and we could set it up,
Yes.
and like literally like, you like coating
Oh,
wheels
yes,
when they're
definitely,
not
yeah.
on cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, quick beads after every wash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Chuck. Hopefully that was helpful for you as we wait for the next question here.
Actually, let's move this out of the way.
Okay.
Then you'll be able to read the questions on screen. So, Sam, rapid fire the questions on screen
Yes,
for
please.
us.
BTH says, I recently applied my first ceramic coating. The paint is glossy and slick, but there are little spots without hydrophobics. And I can't quite see the whole question, so I think that's about what he said. Oh, there are little to no hydrophobics. Ooh, why is this? We don't know what coating you applied and what your prep was.
Right. Prep has a lot to do with it. How was the coating applied and how was it leveled? If you forget to level a section, it actually doesn't bead after that. Leveling is part of the application process.
People may not know that.
Next
Yeah.
question.
You could read it if you'd like. Still the same one, so.
Okay.
Ivan's very fired up to go, but I can't read a question I don't see.
Yeah. How does stacking the 3-year into the hydrate affect the anti-clogging attributes of the hydrate? It actually improves them. Because of the graphene oxide component of the 3-year, they work very well together. They both contain TEOS, tetraethyl orthosilicate, and silicon carbide, and of course silicon dioxide.
So the stack is fun.
Yep.
Would you offer it as a pro?
Probably not, unless your customer is really willing to pay for that extra time. From Sandus, is it okay to use rinseless wash if it froze over the winter? I'm seeing some bits floating around in it. Yes, just shake it up, should be fine. It's freeze thaw that is a problem. If it froze once or twice, you're good.
How do they know if it's a problem, though? Will they smell it? Will they see it? How do you know if your chemical has, quote, gone bad?
Shake it up. If it doesn't recombine, then you have a problem.
If it does, no need to ask us. Just use
Yeah.
it. It's fine. Yeah, okay.
When polishing with the gold standard polish with the yellow waffle pad, can I polish the whole car, then go over it with the rinseless wash dampened towel to finish the polish? Yes, definitely. That's what Nick does all the time. I
Love
wipe
it.
off as I go. Nick wipes off when he's done. So thanks for the question, Wayne.
It helps you keep track of where you've been.
Yeah.
And there's no issue with it staying on the paint.
Right. James Gifford. Gentlemen, you preview DIY detail Envy ceramic glass ceiling in a video with the two Glens from Omni Garage. When will it debut commercially? Soon. Let me come back.
We have it here. So that's when Ivan says soon. It's maybe sooner than you think. So I think he's up to something over there. Ivan's up to something. Always up to something. I love that man. Jorge, if you're outside and want to apply a hydrate, but worried about dust and pollen, how hard is it to level it quicker, and how would you do it? What towels would you use? So yeah, Ivan mentioned going one section at a time with hydrate, and I think that's what your question's about. Jorge's asking, he's got pollen, he's worried about leveling hydrate. What are your panel by panel recommendations, and what towels would you use?
Same towels as we always use, so level 1 and the Freebird 400, and go one panel at a time.
And he's just like, how long should he wait to level it? I mean, he's outside.
Instant bond technology, you can do it right away. This is actually a time when working in direct sunlight is going to help you because it's going to cure the hydrate even faster. So do a panel, let it flash for a minute or two, wipe it off.
What do you have in your hand there, Ivan?
So this is the soon-to-arrive Envy glass sealant. We don't have the labels yet, but this bottle has passed the stability testing. Stability testing for us lasts 6 months, and that 6 months is going from hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold, back and forth.
I've got a great idea.
Yes.
What if we both sign this bottle and do a giveaway?
Oh, that's a good one. Speaking of giveaway, let's give away the kit first.
I was just saying, this is a possibility, and that way it would be like a special edition. You'll get this before it comes out.
Yeah.
We just want you to know that when you come on these lives, we want to make them special events. It's not like a free-for-all giveaway in every 2 seconds, but like a couple of little good
thank yous.
So you want to do a giveaway on the wash clay seal kit right now?
Yeah, we'll do the wash clay seal kit right now.
And then we'll wait till the end maybe to do this.
Yeah.
So stick around for that. Ooh, good trivia question. What would it be? Let me ask this question and we can think about it. We're giving this kit away very soon, so stick around. 192 people watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. Boy, that vehicle looks shiny behind us. We haven't even polished or coated it yet.
Yeah.
Approved Workman says, do you guys have any method of removing scratches from piano black trim on the interior? We already answered that one. Just gold standard polish on a towel. Would they use like a 3-inch or 1-inch polisher?
You can if you want.
If you want.
But be careful of sling on the inside of a car. Not fun.
That's not fun, especially if you have to, if it goes in places that are hard to reach.
Yep.
We don't want that. Okay, well, we're waiting for the next question to come in, so why don't we come up with a trivia question for the wash clay seal kit?
What is the name with proper spelling of our new drying towel that's coming out soon?
Ooh, first person to answer it with correct spelling wins the wash clay seal kit. The only caveat is you got to be in the
48 lower states. Yep.
48 lower states. And we're still waiting on this question. Sam must be.
Oh, there we go. I think we got it there.
All right. Is it the right spelling?
Yeah.
From 67 Jeff.
Yeah.
Make sure I don't have anyone above that. I don't want to declare you the winner, 67 Jeff, but I think you are.
Yeah, that's the first one to show up. So definitely we will. No.
It's not the Domino.
No.
Not the Daniel.
No.
Not the Dam Geo.
No.
Not the Danyo.
No, it is the Damio.
It is the Damio. Okay,
Yeah.
67 Jeff had it right.
Yeah.
So he wins a wash clay seal kit. If you could just info Sam.
Yeah, info@diydetail.com. Take a screenshot of your thing there and prove that it's actually you, and we'll go from there.
All right, Braxton says, after cleaning, so congratulations on that win.
Yeah, we'll be giving this away soon.
Ooh, very exciting. After cleaning a wheel really well, can you use the clay towel on that wheel?
Yes, you can. You can use the decontamination towel, you can use iron remover, you can use water spot remover. And water spot remover is something that you should be using on your wheels once in a while. The reason for that, people think they need a specific wheel coating. You don't. Wheels are clear coat just like the rest of the vehicle. And if your wheel got hot enough to damage a ceramic coating, you wouldn't have tires and you wouldn't have brakes left. Never mind the wheel or the coating. So that is one thing. The other aspect of that is with the wheels, you're going down the road, they do get warmer than the rest of the paint because of braking and all of that. As you're driving through the rain, there's minerals coming up from the concrete, coming up from the road that are swirling around all in the wheel and drying because your wheel's getting a little warmer. So you definitely have mineral contamination on your wheels.
You have a towel in your hand. that
I do.
I wondered if you wanted to talk about.
So this is another new towel that's coming. Same shipment as the other one. And we're calling this the touch-up towel. Now, you'll notice it's a nice, very convenient size. This side is the same material as someone's favorite glass wax towel.
It's a great towel.
Right. But on this side, it's a pearl weave. And we're calling this the touch-up towel. The reason for the touch-up towel is it's exactly what you use it for. You want to touch up a little streak. You've got that little drip of water coming down. You want to apply a glass sealant. This is a good towel to do that. You want to clean windows. It's actually a good glass cleaning towel too, because you have that pearl weave side and you have the more aggressive side as well.
We've all been there. You're done with the detail, and you're literally just going to grab drips and touching it up.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it the Freeboard 400? Am I grabbing the Pearl? Like, which one am I grabbing? You know, the level 1. And it's just nice to have almost like the drip catcher. Like,
right.
I have a dedicated towel in my arsenal that is used for one thing. It's not used to wipe in my Envy ceramic sealant as a drying aid.
It's right behind you, Nick.
Oh yeah, well this is the drip catcher. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I use this to catch drips. I use the touch-up towel to just get my touch-ups at the end. And so it's just nice that, like, if it sounds gimmicky to you, wait until you try it, and it might actually just be a fun little towel in your arsenal that just kind of keeps you organized.
Yeah. Yeah, so demo on the glass sealant, you'll see this is an extremely, extremely difficult product to apply. Put some on the glass.
Are we a one spray guy still, Ivan?
Yeah, and work it into the glass. And I'm done. It's just that easy.
Again.
Yeah, so.
Sylvie says again.
Yeah.
So if you were ceramic coating a vehicle, would this be sufficient protection, or compare this to like a hydro glass?
No, this is a sealant. This is our interpretation of Rain-X.
You do this every wash if you want.
Yeah, every couple washes, puts this on. You've got great hydrophobics, and actually the touch-up towel is great for this. So,
there's a man named Spencer, the toaster, and he's saying, would I be a bad husband if I did the 8-1 stack on my car, but only the 8 on my wife's?
no, you wouldn't be a bad husband. And once you've done the 8-1 stack, you'll want to do it again. And you've got more than enough in the bottle to do it. The 1-year coating has 120 milliliters, easily enough to do 10 cars. And you'll notice I'm not stressed about wiping this off. It's not a stressful product to use. So yeah, if you put too much, let's pretend my name is Nick McGurk.
I mean, it looks like you're having fun, is all I can tell.
No, because I know I'm going to have more work here. You don't need to put this much on, trust me. 1 spray per side of the windshield is more than enough. But I can just take a very small towel, level it, flip, and I use so much my towel is actually wet now.
But you want this product to be easy to use, mobile, sun-friendly, right? Like,
right.
Just
so super easy to use, no streaks, even though I had way too much on the surface. Now we're going to stop using this because we're giving this bottle away to someone.
Yes, we are, within the live stream.
And actually, what the heck? We'll throw in the touch-up towel with it.
Oh, a used microfiber towel.
Yeah.
What a gift, you know?
Well,
That's
it
how
just
you
happens to fit perfectly around the bottle, too. But
You know, it was a part of history. It was a
Yes.
part of a live stream on a Tuesday afternoon
there you go.
in March. Is it still March? It's the last day of March, right?
Yeah, so now we have a fuzzy bottle.
There we go. The fuzzy mystery bottle. Still waiting for the new question to appear on the screen here
Yeah.
from Sam. 182 people watching. We're going to give away our new product, our new towel.
Yeah, so
Ivan-
Envy glass sealant and the touch-up towel.
And Ivan, anything else you want to say about Envy Glass Sealant?
Super easy to use. As you saw, underuse it, overuse it. Please don't overuse it, but it can be used. Bottle goes a long way. Do not do the interior windows. You don't want them hydrophobic, just the outside.
Why not just use Envy? Some might say, well, I could just spray Envy on the glass too, right? You said it's safe on all surfaces.
Yeah, you can. This actually does a slightly better job on glass. It's designed to work on glass.
There you go. Okay, new question on the screen. Thank you, Sam. I find when I drive a lot on the highway in my cars, the backup camera gets covered in debris very easily.
Right.
Not uncommon. Would you recommend spraying it with something like Envy to keep as much dust from sticking?
Yes, Envy does a great job. Ceramic coat it if you can. And unfortunately, no matter what you do, you're going to get that swirling effect behind an SUV, and that camera is going to get clogged up.
One thing you just missed off camera, Sylvie did a pro move, Ivan.
Yes.
She took the sprayer out of the bottle and sprayed it back into the bottle,
Yes.
emptying the trigger sprayer out so that it's less likely to get clogged up and it stays clean, right?
Yeah.
That's something anyone can do after their detail's done.
Right, and we don't want to ship you a bottle with a sprayer on it, so she put the child-proof lid back on.
There you go. There
Almost
you go.
adult-proof sometimes, but yes.
All right. Mr. Bell says, I have a Volkswagen Atlas, have to use a blower on the front grille. Should I do a quick hand dry and then the blower?
Yes. Quick hand dry, blower, and then pick up the drips from there.
Yep. Makes sense. Kind of the way we teach
Yep.
all washing and drying processes around here. Craig Wallace says, what size jeweling pad did you use on the Pro T MEX cordless polisher used for apps?
6-inch.
Does it come with a 6-inch plate?
Yep.
Okay. Is that obvious, or does it you just get the machine and then have to figure it out?
It comes with a 6-inch. It's the only one it comes with. So.
Got it. Now you know. Now you know. And you really like that for the price point?
Yeah, it's very inexpensive. It uses the DIY detail batteries, so that's a great little addition for us. But no, we're not going to come out with one that is so inexpensive that there's no way for us to be able to compete. And what they're talking about is this little polisher here. So great little polisher, uses the DIY detail batteries, super simple to use,
Yep.
nice and quiet. It's not a, let me turn it on here, not a loud machine in any way, shape, or form. And for wax and app, this is fantastic. You can actually polish a whole car with it if you wanted to.
Yeah, if you wanted to grab the yellow waffle pad and you'd never polished paint
Yeah.
before, and you're like, Ivan says this works, I'm just going to trust him. Gold standard polish and
Yeah.
a yellow pad, you will shine up that paint, clean it up. It won't be as aggressive as our 25 millimeter,
No.
but it will deeply clean paint in a way that is perfectly acceptable to
Yeah.
prep for ceramic coating.
Yeah, and it's an 8mm stroke, so if you remember the Porter cables, think of it as a battery-operated Porter cable.
All right, next question here. I love those buckets. Where can I get them? I want the bottle holders. Would be awesome.
So the bucket dollies, that's something I made up. They may eventually make it to the market. I'm trying to find a manufacturer that likes welding aluminum. But other than that, the buckets themselves, we use clear buckets to demonstrate on this channel. We really do not recommend using clear buckets when you're detailing. We break a lot of these buckets because they just crack. They're not chemically resistant. They're designed for food storage, so any food storage, any restaurant supply will have them. Most restaurants have them, but they're not a great bucket in reality.
Depends on what you're going for at home, because I can get like a bucket at Walmart for like $3 or $4.
Yeah.
Maybe they're cheaper other places. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But you find one of those buckets online, and sometimes they're really expensive.
They're like
so it's
$30 or $40.
Exactly,
yeah.
for a bucket. So it's like, depends on what you're going for. Some people
Right.
really want that whole aesthetic with their wash.
Yeah, they're expensive because they're food grade. So
Yeah, okay. Would you ever use foam pads that came with the cordless polisher, says Craig?
probably not. The ones that came with that were swiftly, they disappeared with the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to the person out there who's never done this before, they might be like, it's the same thing. Why would I spend money with DIY when I could just get the one that came with it?
They're not the same.
They're not the same
No.
thing. Dr. Bob says, I have a white Silverado. It's an outdoor car. I have to coat it outside. Which coating should I use for the best protection and most hydrophobic results?
Hydrate.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Hydrates on another
Amazing.
level. Yeah. Dr. Bob, hopefully that prescription works for you. Approved work, that was a really bad, I apologize. Do you guys have any method of removing scratches from piano black trim on the interior? I think we've answered that one. a
Yeah,
couple times.
but basically, pearl weave towel, bit of gold standard polish, hand polish.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps you, approved workman. Still seeing people saying Danyo, or no, I'm way behind on the chat. Never mind.
Yeah.
Jim Taylor says,
don't look at this side. Just look
yeah,
at that
I
side.
love detailing. I ordered your 1-year ceramics, since I'll apply it again in a year. Would you recommend the hydrate as well on a new car?
Definitely, yeah. Especially if you're going to be keeping the car. You know, hydrate as your base, and then do the 1 year once a year on top, or every 6 months, or every month if you want. But
You don't have to do the 1 year
No.
after a year. Like, you're
No,
good
no,
with
no.
hydrate. It's just,
yeah,
if you like putting things on your car, if you want to have another, rewarding dopamine hit, you work for it, and
Yeah.
then you get that sort of,
Wow.
it's brand
Yeah.
new again. It's like you could just deeply decontaminate your paint after a year and
yeah.
enjoy that too.
Yeah, the other day we did our little Ford Escape that we pulled behind the bus. It's gone 65,000 miles behind the bus, plus another 10,000 miles of driving by itself since the time we put the coating on it. The coating was still performing beautifully. It's still great. We gave it a quick pass with app, or a decontaminated quick pass with app, added the 1 year, and just wow.
James Gifford saying, when are we going to release NV Glass Sealant?
Should be about a month away. So we're just finishing up the final, testing that we do. We do a lot of pre-release testing in terms of stability, in terms of temperatures, in terms of all sorts of things. The fragrance, to make sure the fragrance stays the same, it doesn't change, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So those are all important things. The labels are designed, they're being printed right now. Once that's done, everything comes together. So probably late April, early May.
Braxton, just a real simple question. Any tips for wheel wells?
Yes, pressure washer. And don't overthink wheel wells. This is something that detailers spend way too much time on. Your customer is going to be driving away. As soon as you're done the vehicle, the customer is getting in and driving away. When they're getting in and driving away, that wheel well will be just as dirty 500 feet down the road as when you started washing it.
Yeah, it's one area I don't see you fixated on when we detail
No.
cars. And
Now-
you're not saying that's being negligent of the overall product.
No, I'll rinse it out and I'll stop there. If it's a show truck that's jacked up in the air, yeah, you're going to spend time on the wheel wells. But a daily driver, don't worry about it.
And again, that's your wisdom from having done this long enough, because sometimes we like to spend a lot of time where it probably doesn't matter as much as we think it does.
Yeah, the customer, I've never had a customer remark when I used to do wheel wells too much. Oh, I love the wheel wells. No, they don't see them. Someone that goes through a car wash, their wheel well has never been cleaned.
Sort of, but not totally.
Yeah.
Joshua says, if a client wanted to take their heavily salted, crusted, ceramic-coated car through an automated car wash, touchless, would it benefit to pre-soak it before going through with maybe rinseless?
Yes, it would, but a lot of customer or a lot of car washes do not take kindly to that because there may be, an interaction with their chemicals and your chemicals.
Yeah, and they don't want you holding up the line if
Yeah.
it takes extra time to get out and spray it down. So if you're going to do it artfully. And,
Yeah. 1 second.
yep.
Il est probablement mis sur le perron en avant.
I never know what they're talking about.
No, we
It's
had
French.
an Amazon delivery. It's, yeah, someone knocked on the door. It was the Amazon delivery person.
People are knocking, they're dropping off cars, they're
Yeah.
delivering things. We've always got something going on here in the studio. MF754, what's the best method for removing algae from window seals between the glass and the seal?
Ooh, a very small brush. And first you want to rinse the cart, or foam, rinse, foam again, then brush. You want to get rid of as much grit as possible. And when you're rinsing, if you have the pressure washer, get in there with the pressure washer first before brushing.
But you're foaming first and then getting in there with the pressure
Yes.
washer. Close enough to do a good job, not so close that you're ripping anything
Right,
off.
yeah.
Right? Be cognizant of your own situation. Jorge says, which lasts longer, Quick Beads or Envy?
There's not much difference in terms of durability. It's application that will make a difference. So with Quick Beads, we're spraying, we're rinsing. Now, how much did you spray on? Was your rinse quality? Was it done well? That will affect the durability. With Envy, how do you apply it? If it's a drying aid, that's the least amount of durability you're going to get from it. You're applying it to dry paint with an applicator like you would a coating, you're going to get more durability. Apply it with the small DA and the red waffle pad, you'll get even more durability out of it.
Yeah, the quality of your rinse is something that people out there may not totally understand.
Some people don't rinse Quick Beads enough, or they'll rinse from the top down. We have a video coming soon. We did a really deep dive on Quick Beads, and I think it's one we're going to accelerate in the process of getting out because it is answering a lot of people's questions and showing the versatility of Quick Beads as well.
It might be why this Volkswagen Beetle was so shiny.
That was part of it.
We did about 6 different applications of Quick Beads
Yeah.
as we explained this for the video.
Yeah.
And then we did the wax. This thing, I mean, it shimmered.
Yeah.
It
did.
glowed.
Yeah, it did.
So would you say using half a bottle of Quick Beads is recommended?
No. And
Okay.
actually using too much is not a good thing.
All right. Supra says, on a brand new car,
Yep.
rotary red pad or DA red pad?
Oh, rotary all the way.
Why?
You get a better finish from the rotary. And if you don't need the cut of the DA, use the rotary with the red pad. You'll thank yourself.
Okay. Hambricano says, if using gold standard polish with the wool pad on a DA for a car door doesn't remove the water spot etching, what's the next best thing?
So, the next best thing is stepping up to the wool pad. And water
Wait, the wool pad with gold standard polish, what they're saying.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the compound? You said
Right.
you're stepping up to the wool pad.
Yes. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the wool pad. So in that case, step up to the compound. The other thing is you have to realize that you may not be able to get rid of the etching because the etching is maybe deep into that clear coat. And if it's deep in the clear coat, remember, if you get rid of the etching, you're getting rid of the clear coat down to the level of that etching.
What if you just are like, I am going to get rid of that etching no matter what? What are the dangers in pursuing such a heroic task?
Yeah. Not a heroic task.
I in my head, it's like you go from hero to zero really quick.
Very
I've
quickly,
been there
yeah.
where it's like, no, I'm a detailer. Like I'm a master of my craft. I can do this.
Yeah.
I have sandpaper in one hand, compound in the other. I've got my rotary and my dual action and my inspection light, and like I'm not leaving until this panel's done. And 20 hours later, I mean, maybe I got it done, but I removed a lot of clear. Anyway,
Right.
I know the mentality. People want to get that job.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You're damaging the vehicle every time you polish. Now, one thing that can help, first of all, always start with water spot remover. After the water spot remover, inspect. One thing you can do, if that etching hasn't been there a long time, and this is something that a lot of people don't realize, put the vehicle out in the sun. Clear coat is actually self-healing to a point, and that etching can go away. Like if you get a bird dropping on a car and you wiped off the bird dropping, you know it's only been there a couple hours and it leaves this stain. Don't get out your polish and start polishing. Put the car out in the sun. That stain will go away. Patience. Yep.
Ooh, jinx. All right. Approved workman. Any tips or techniques for detailing cars in the middle of pollen?
Wait till after the pollen's gone. Just break it up into small sections. That's all you can do.
Yeah, and you got to be patient because
Yeah.
it will test your patience.
Yeah, and
Peter
your sinuses.
Gomez says, hi, when and where would you use a 3-inch polisher over a 6-inch polisher?
I wouldn't, personally. You've probably never seen, I think we used a 3-inch polisher once on the channel.
Did we?
Yeah, way back when. No, in my shops, we didn't use 3-inch polishers. With a 6-inch pad, this is something a lot of people don't understand. It's like, oh, the 5-inch pad gets into more places. No, the 6-inch pad gets you much more coverage and into many more places than you can with a 5-inch pad, because now you're leveraging the distance between the center of the machine and the edge of the pad. And the center, the handle of the machine is only so wide, and the pad reaches out. So like under a mirror, I can easily get there with a 6-inch pad where I can't get there with a 5-inch pad.
I've been speaking truth, folks. Chuck Freeman says, can you use that new towel with waterless wash?
Yeah.
The touch-up towel?
No. Well, you can use it with waterless wash. Let's say you're getting rid of a little bird dropping or something like that. Great. Doing the whole car? No. With doing a whole car with waterless wash, you need a pack or two of Freebird 400s.
If you're going to actually
Yeah.
waterless wash properly the entire car. Good question. Remedy Auto Detail, Gary says, can the NV glass go over a ceramic glass coating as well?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, it's a...
Yeah, universal product, does a great job.
Okay. On to the next question, if we could, Sam. About 15 minutes left of this live stream, then we're going to give away this signed bottle
Yes.
of NV glass sealant. Mike Kaufman says, when is NV glass being released? Color of bottle.
About a month, and it'll have a pastel green color to it.
Ooh.
Or pastel blue, I believe. I forget the color of the label, but it's in there somewhere.
Spencer says, your higher dilutable products come in gallons, making them economical.
Yes.
Spencer Mation.
Yep.
Where's Spencer at?
Wisconsin somewhere, I think?
Yeah, I remembered. Any reason why polish, compound, and prep that are not dilutable don't come in gallons? I'll advocate for this forever. Because Spencer runs a big shop.
Yeah. We'll use...
I think I just butt dialed something. We have our AirPods in, anyways.
So basically, a 16-ounce bottle of gold standard polish lasts as much as 2 quarts or half a gallon of someone else's polish because of the so few we're using. As far as app goes, we get people asking us all the time, can you make a smaller bottle of app because the 16-ounce bottle is too big? As far as the compound, yes, that may come eventually.
All right. Hopefully that helps, Spencer. Cali Detail Co. Any plans on expanding the C6 line this year?
Yes, there are changes happening.
So stay tuned. Oh, man. That's how you know we've been in the same
Twice in a row.
garage for many days in a row. Jorge says, when stacking the two, what should be added to the car first? Quick beads or Envy?
Quick beads first as you're rinsing, and then finish with Envy.
Not because Quick Beads is the stronger product, as said earlier. You know, put
No,
your
they're
strongest
both-
product down first. It's just Quick Beads is the natural way to use it is after the initial wash and rinse.
You're putting it on a wet car
Yeah. And then Envy is also something you can put on a wet car post Quick Beads
as a drying aid.
as a drying aid.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's helping you
Yep.
by me explaining it 7 times. Gray says, got a repainted car and I want to bring it back to life, but there's not even paint on some sections. What should be the first step?
Painting those sections.
Yeah.
You know, if it's that bad, you know, you may want to investigate painting or look at something like Regloss. It's a wipe-on clear coat, does a great job.
All right. David Love says, when ceramic coating my Lincoln Nautilus, new, how do you handle the front grille? It has many a bumpy texture. Also, my first coating, looking forward to the adventure. It is an adventure, isn't it?
Yeah, I would use Quick Beads on that grill. I wouldn't even bother trying to coat it.
If you want to coat it, you can
Yeah.
get one of those little detail brushes.
Yeah.
Invest in the brush. And,
The little foam ones.
oh, the foam ones.
Yeah, and you
Okay.
can do it that way if you have that type of patience and that type of time. I know what that grill looks like, and no.
Give
Quick
yourself
Beads.
a couple hours. Like, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, seriously, if
Yeah,
that's
get
what you want to do.
comfortable chair, good tunes, and just work methodically across the grill. But seriously, learn to use Quick Beads every 2 or 3 washes, and you won't regret it.
If you want to coat the grill, save it to last. Make
Yeah.
sure you've got coating left in your bottle. You
Yeah.
know, don't use it all on the grill.
Right.
And then not have it for your paint, right?
Yeah.
Paint's the priority. Ivan Quick Beads is the grill and the wheels all the time.
Yeah.
And that is perfectly good protection for Ivan. And so if that helps you at all. Approved Workman says, with many questions today, thank you. What's the best method for removing wheel weight adhesive from the wheel barrel?
Our tree sap remover, or one of those little eraser wheels.
Okay. Tree sap remover, I don't think we talk about enough.
No, it's an adhesive remover. It's a rubber remover. You know, does all these things. The reason we call it tree sap remover is actually to make it easier to export. If you call it a tar remover, which it is, all of a sudden there's red flags going up everywhere when someone's importing it to another country. Call it tree sap remover, even though it's the same SDS, all the same funny chemicals. Yeah, it's fine. It's a tree sap remover. But call it an adhesive remover or tar remover, all of a sudden the world explodes.
What I love about tree sap remover too, it's powerful, but it's like humble.
Yes.
It doesn't have an offensive stench.
Yeah.
Like I've used other brands where it's like their adhesive remover. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you smell it in the shop for like a couple of days once you
Yeah.
open the bottle, and yeah, it packs a punch. But like tree sap remover doesn't even smell.
No.
And if I just have patience with it and spray
Yeah.
it on, let it dwell, agitate it gently, like, oh my gosh, like the tar's gone. You know?
Yeah.
So if you haven't used a tree sap remover, it's just one of those. Have it in your arsenal
Yeah.
for when you need it, because that day will come. Adam says, when will DIY Detail T-shirt, merch, etc. be available?
We're working on that, and it's coming sooner than we hope, or sooner than we think. By this summer, we'll have merch.
Is deionizing water vessel a good idea for mobile detailing?
Yes and no. A great idea for mobile detailing is learn to use rinseless wash and learn to dry the vehicle fast enough that you don't have to deal with water spots no matter what the water is. But as another option, yes.
If you like spending money, is it a good idea?
Yeah.
If you like making trips to go get more water, is that a good idea?
Exactly. So learn technique instead of products.
I just don't have anywhere near me that has that in
No.
Utah, but I know in California it's a big
Yeah,
deal.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Braxton says, can you polish door jambs?
Yes, you can, if you want to.
Aren't door jambs a lot thinner?
Yeah, the clear coat is very, very thin there. So you want to polish to enhance. You don't want to polish to correct.
If it's an old door jamb, it might be tempting. Oh, there's scratches everywhere. I need to
Yeah.
go to town.
No.
Be careful.
Yeah.
All right. Spencer the Toaster says, I put show winning wax on a ceramic coated car for winter. Do I need to do anything to strip it come spring?
No, it's probably already gone.
Yeah, just the natural washing of it will
Yeah.
strip it away.
Right.
With
Show
time.
winning wax is not designed to last a long time. If you're a professional detailer and your customer asks you how long this wax lasts, talk about 1 year coating. If they're worried about durability, don't talk about a wax, talk about a coating.
Nate Marcy says, just got all 4 of the new Type 3 coatings as well as app. Thank you,
Oh,
Nate.
thank you.
Yeah. Is it okay to use on matte vinyl? What can't app be used on?
So app can be used anywhere, everywhere, including matte. The hydrate, you want to stay away from matte.
Could you use it on your glasses app?
Yes, Yeah, there's like any surface of the vehicle is safe for app.
I was just kind of.
Yeah.
Do you ceramic coat your glasses?
Yes, I do. And they're probably dirty now because I got water on them and all
Well, I
sorts
just
of
wondered if
things.
Ivan sits there with app and then ceramic coating
Yep.
on his glasses. No,
Yep.
that's actually not a joke. He does this thing. Bricks for Wheels says on the Amazon ProTeamX app machine, if used with gold standard polish, what's the best speed? Preferred DIY pad type and size? Does it have enough speed to wring out the rinseless
Yes.
with the pad washer?
Yeah. So speed 5 or 6, wool pad, great correction. It'll do what you need it to do. And yes, spin it out at speed 8.
So that's an option for folks who
Yeah.
don't want to invest in a polisher.
Yeah, definitely.
You heard it here first. Ivan's trying to save you money and help your process. Love
Yeah.
it. Will there be more DIY detail products available in the UK in the future than what is currently available?
Yes. And if there's something that's missing, ask the distributor that you're buying the products from. Say, hey, I want this. Why aren't you bringing it in? We can't force our products on distributors. But if the consumer is asking for the products, I can guarantee you they'll get them in.
There's real power, even in just a couple comments. Like imagine as a customer service business, if one person says, "Hey, you missed the wheel wells," and that
Yeah.
really offended me, or they leave a review on your,
Yeah.
"Hey, this person missed the wheel wells," you better believe that detailer is not going to miss wheel wells again. So just one little comment can be very powerful. So if you literally email your your online store of choice, be like, "Hey, why aren't you carrying DIY detail? I really want these products."
Yeah.
It might make a big impact for them.
Yeah. And Sylvie's pointing at our watch. So we're 10 minutes away.
Okay.
Let's do that last giveaway. Now, if we didn't get to your question, please, once the live stream is over, go to the comments of the video and we'll definitely get to all those questions.
What should the giveaway question be for our new Envy glass sealant?
Well, I don't know.
What is the price, the kit, the wash, clay and seal on the website? C'est quoi le prix en spécial du kit DIY?
That's a very specific question.
Yeah. So,
Okay, you ask it.
Well, actually, I won't ask it because now people have heard it. They're already,
Okay.
typing the answer.
Uh-huh,
So,
uh-huh.
we'll give you one a little more difficult. We're coming out with a new towel, the Damio towel. We talked about it before.
We talked about it.
Yeah. What's the size?
Ooh, what is the size of the towel that we measured live on the live stream?
Yeah.
To win a signed bottle of a not yet released product and a touch-up towel. What's the size of the Damio towel?
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
let's see. I see the first one. Is it? They
No.
said centimeter. Becca said centimeters. No. 26 by.
18.
So she said 20. Oh no, but the C is probably meant to be an X.
Yeah, and it's 26 by 18, not 28 by 16.
Becca, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm so
So
sorry. I wanted you to
Wayne
win.
Buzzard.
Wayne Buzzard 5240 said 26 by 18.
Yeah.
First of all, Wayne, amazing listening skills.
Yeah.
Thank you all
Now,
for paying such good attention.
There's one above here, 87. Oh, no, okay. It said 87 by 71, but I was thinking they might be talking in metric, but that's not it. So,
No.
yeah, so Wayne Buzzard. Wayne, if you want to please send an email to info@DIY Detail. We'll need your name, we'll need your address, and if you want us to sign to your name or to someone else's, you might want to give it to someone else. So.
And Moigan are asking if we would ever open up a store here in Omaha.
No. There are a couple detailing supply places in Omaha. Once again, ask them to bring in DIY detail. We actually ship from a warehouse in Chicago, so we don't store products here.
Yeah, our business model is not like having DIY detail locations.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could think about that in the future, but for
Everywhere.
now.
Yeah.
Need product, ask if you.
Yeah. Everywhere you are, if there's a detailing distributor there and you want DIY detail products, tell them. If they don't hear, they know who we are, trust me. But if they don't have people asking for a product, they're not going to bring it in.
That was a little behind the scenes. So a lot of Ivan's, insights come from Sylvia.
Yes.
Ivan will be working and Sylvia will be like, "Hey, say this." Not because you're planting things,
No.
because y'all are a great team. We're a great team.
Yeah.
And Sylvie's an unseen. Do you want to come over here, Sylvia?
Yeah, come
on. Sylvie's got big fans. People come over here. They want pictures with Sylvie.
Yes.
She's the producer. She makes the magic happen.
Yeah.
We all love each other. What a happy family.
Yeah.
Okay, look at this. Okay.
Yeah.
Craig Wall says, after headlight restore, can you use hydro glass on the lights?
No, it's plastic. So you want to use a paint coating on there.
I know PPF would be the best option, but I've
Yes.
left over hydro glass and it's an old car.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, but hydrate, sorry, is the best option there, or any of the coatings. But like you said, PPF definitely the best
When
option.
is the next chat?
Oh
When's
yeah,
the next live chat? We're
actually we're having another live on Thursday. Like I said, we don't come to the studio often. We come here 3 times a year.
Yep.
And we wanted to talk to you about new products and stuff. But one question we got asked by Fu Katan, I don't know if Fu is watching right now, and this triggered something. It's like, great idea. So what we're going to be doing is Nick's rental vehicle is a RAV4. It's a little beat up. It's at the end of its cycle of being a rental vehicle. We're actually going to apply the 4 coatings on one side of the car. So we'll be applying the 1 year, the 3 year, the 5 year, and hydrate. And since the live stream is about 2 hours long, we'll probably have time to stack those as well, half of the panels. So you can actually see the difference.
You think you can see the difference?
You will see a bit of a difference.
I'm excited to show them the difference in application. You might be surprised at how little there is of a difference.
Right.
But certain of them are going to be easier. Anyway, I was big and Ivan. I was like, let's do this live. Let's show people how, because I think a lot of people wonder about our Type 3 coatings. Like, you say they're different. How are they different? Sometimes showing is better than telling.
Yeah.
So it's actually gonna be really exciting. Bring your ceramic coating questions, your application questions, your outdoor detailing questions. We're gonna answer them all. We're gonna do a Q&A, live demo, something we've never quite done before. And because it's a rental car, apparently we can get away with it.
Yeah.
We're still protecting the paint, right?
Yeah, we're making it better.
We're enhancing it.
Yeah. Now, the car will be washed, will be deconned before we start.
Yeah.
So it's this Thursday. I know we normally do lives on Friday, but Friday is a holiday for a lot of people because of Easter. And Nick is flying out, so we're doing it on Thursday, a day earlier than normal. We still have all our other premieres going on tomorrow and Friday as well, so don't worry, they're staying around. But 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, we'll be going live again.
Is there a day that we don't put out content, Ivan?
No, there isn't actually.
What is it, Sylvie?
See you the next
next
live.
time. We'll see you on the next live. She says it's time to wrap it
Well,
up.
we still have 5 minutes.
You can, now we're double goodbying. We're gonna goodbye now.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Sylvie says it's time.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Live right here on YouTube.
4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
With maybe some more giveaways?
Yes, of course.
Maybe.
Of course.
Enjoy.
I don't know where
I don't know. Does it end somewhere?
Yeah, Sam will be.
Okay.
Sam is the one that turns it off for us, so
Sam's
there we go. It's
hopefully-
done.